Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Roota.com. I was just thinking the other day, almost every scenario that I've played out and honed and studied over the last 25 years of doing this is coming true right now as we speak. But it's not taking place in the asset value. And that's the beauty of the road to Roota theories. Like, you don't even have to go through the pain and suffering of the last 25 years to profit from what's about to happen. In my opinion, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Silver is holding above the moving averages. Yes, silver will be, I don't know the price of silver, and you won't know it either because the exchanges won't be open, but I do believe that we will be looking at a gold-silver ratio that is not 90 to 1 like it is right now. This is shocking. 90 to 1 right before it's about to go 1 to 1. Yes, there is pretty much the same amount above ground silver as there is gold. Gold is nothing. Gold is nothing in our society other than a store of value, a place to hold your wealth, which is, don't get me wrong, every unbacked fiat monetary system needs that. But when you look at silver, which is also a store of value and a place to hold your wealth, our entire lifestyle would change if all of a sudden silver disappeared. Meaning, nothing would work the same. Nothing. Your cell phone won't work the same. Electric cars won't even be made. Solar power won't even be made. Nothing would be the same. Every electronic device has a little bit of silver. Your flat screen TVs, all of a sudden, instead of costing $500 for a real big one, you're going to look at like $5,000 because it's got 2 ounces of silver in it. Everything is about to change. And that's why they have to hold the price down until the bitter end. But ultimately, it will be silver destroying the banks. That's been foretold in the lore, in the history, in the prophecy of the United States of America. We will go back to a gold-silver standard. We have a hell of a lot of gold. I mean, a hell of a lot of gold. There's more gold dripping everywhere around the planet. And it's not even hidden anymore. I mean, if you don't know that guys like Jeffrey Christian are lying to you, saying there's 200,000 tons of gold that's ever been mined in the history of the world, if you don't know that's a lie, I don't know where to send you for that information, other than very soon we will have free markets again. And that's the last thing Trump's going to do, is allow free markets to destroy the old system and we move on to something new. I think the tariffs absolutely have something to do with it. That's why Mexico and Canada have been given an extra month. Yeah, you throw a 25% tariff on silver and you literally fry the banking shorts, the big mother pluckers that are too big to fail. They will fail, so it will be all triggered. The derivative collapse will be triggered ultimately by Trump and the good guys, I believe. So, and he knows. Why do you think he put Bassett as the Treasury Secretary? That's George Soros' number one guy, or number two guy. His son now is the number one guy, but he literally ran the criminal financing for George Soros. Insane that Trump hires him as the Treasury Secretary unless he knew he was going to set him up for massive failure. And that's what we're headed into. I think this will be a very, 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 very interesting delivery month. March is a silver delivery month. Currently. Now, this typically goes down near the end of the month, but we're looking at 505 million ounces, or 505 million ounces of silver that could theoretically stand for delivery. But I think more important is all the silver deliveries that are going on right now. In February is not a delivery month, not a silver delivery month on the COMEX, and yet we're seeing massive amounts of deliveries. Already we have 16 million ounces in a non-delivery month is unheard of. I mean, last month I think was the biggest, and now we're blowing it away. Every day you can go on the COMEX, if you're a COMEX trader, you can go in and buy physical silver and take delivery anytime you want. The delivery, I think it's by the end of the delivery month. So they're required by law Of course, the SEC, the CFTC, and the COMEX, they'll change the rules like they did with the Hunt brothers back in the 80s, where they made, all right, nobody else can buy, only sellers. Of course, the price is going to go down. But this is different. We have a different regime. I mean, you look at what Elon Musk is finding, it's like, holy shit, the whole thing was a scam. How long can a fractional reserve system with these fake markets last when the exposure, the light of day is being exposed on all this shit? Get out of the banks, get out of the stock market, get out of the bond market, get out of every market. On the road to Roota, we got a handful. I've narrowed down a handful of investments. Number one, by far, at least during right now, for now, is physical silver in your own possession. I think that holds the key to what's coming in the future. Physical silver in your own possession. No mining companies, no ETFs. They're obviously be nationalized as soon as possible. Instantly nationalization, especially Mexico and Canada. Why wouldn't they? They have to take care of their people. They've been screwing their people over, especially Mexico. Mexico literally delivers to the world a third of the silver that's mined every year and has been doing that for decades, probably a century. It's just insane that Mexico should be the richest country in the world, and yet they're not allowed to be because the criminals that run the country are selling off their future. The most valuable asset in all of Mexico isn't the oil in the Gulf of America. Love that. It's the silver in the ground. Without Mexico's silver, forget about it. The silver shorts are destroyed. And Trump's putting a 25% tariff on at the end of the month. Unless they renew again. But why would they? Trump knows he's got 3 years, 3.5 years to get this shit fixed. A little more than that. He wants to start now. And it's kind of starting. But it's not really starting until you destroy the unbacked fiat monetary system, get rid of the biggest problem on planet Earth, debt. All the debt would be gone. There's no Nessera and Jessera and all that bullshit that takes deciders. Who would ever agree to that? XRP people are all excited because the guy at the SEC who was very anti-crypto and sued XRP and Ripple for their obvious ICO that took forever, and they're still ICOing really. But they're going to win that. He was just demoted, by the way. SEC ousts top litigator who battled with crypto giants. The agency reassigned its head of litigation. Securities Exchange Commission is so eager to bury its conflict with the crypto market, it's moved its top litigator to an office that maintains the agency's computer systems. The agency last week transferred Jorge Torino, who had overseen a half dozen lawsuits at crypto exchanges and other platforms that were critical for deciding the reach of the SEC's authority over the volatile market. And they're moving it. They're moving him. He's gone. He's been reassigned to a lawyer involved with controversial accounting guidance. Good luck there, Jorge. SEC spokesman declined to comment on the reassignment. The commission is looking to make peace with the crypto firms after some of the biggest exchanges poured millions into super political action committees and helped elect lawmakers friendlier to the industry. President Trump is a major backer of cryptos and last month sold his own digital token that has a market value of about $3.5 billion. Why was that legal and everything else before it? They're going to have to change the law. There wasn't really a law. It was law by enforcement. Terrorino, I don't know how to say his name, was the key man for litigation strategy that was hatched under former chair Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler, by the way, same guy who oversaw the CFTC during the JP Morgan rigging and told Bart Chilton we're making a political decision not to bust JP Morgan, by the way. The SEC wagered that courts would find many crypto assets were sold illegally because they didn't comply with investor protection laws. Many of the SEC legal arguments have been accepted during preliminary phases of litigation. The commission won settlements in some cases, but other major lawsuits, such as one against Coinbase Global, remain pending. Settlements. Are they going to go back and redo the settlements and take those settlements off? The settlements were bullshit. There were literally the SEC was going to drag the. That's why the big guy said, "Hell no, I'm not going to settle." And the little guy said, "I have to settle because I don't have millions and millions of dollars to fight this, especially with rigged judges." The SEC is now expected to settle those lawsuits for favorable terms. Crypto startups and exchanges complain that the compliance existing SEC rules is technically infeasible because the digital assets are issued and traded differently than stocks and bonds. Absolutely. This is good news. The bigger thing is what's going to happen now. And here's some news for you. I'll get back to silver in a second, but here's some real big news for you. I mean, real big news. I don't know if I want to tell you guys this. All right, I will. The Very Dow, a band of literally diehard Very fans and lawyers, they filed a complaint against this very guy. And I think it's being heard, that complaint's being heard at the SEC on the 14th, which is in like 4 or 5 days, 3 or 4 days. Very Dow. Remember that. And oh, by the way, here's what happened. Oh, did I tell you Reggie got another patent? It's coming out on the 18th. You can't make this shit up. How long have I been screaming? If you have any cryptos at all, you have to have some Veritaseum as insurance. Reggie has the most powerful patent in all of history, in human history. Just think, you have the patent over DeFi, over NFTs, over swaps. Everything that XRP does falls under the Reggie Middleton patent. I know you XRP people don't like hearing that. You want your side to be upheld, but not the side of Reggie Middleton, who, by the way, got a patent got 7 patents now, 7 patents for DeFi, for anything non-base blockchain, basically. It is crazy how this all works, but it is a reality. CliffHigh's data said at some point the U.S. government will come to Reggie Middleton begging to help them. What point is that? When the global unbacked fiat monetary system, especially the exchange, is shut down. And they will. Absolutely. One too big to fail bank. Remember, September 11th in 2008, we were hours away from the entire system shutting down. Hadn't they not given the banks $1 trillion and then them leverage it up $20 trillion, the system would not have survived a few hours, according to Senator Kanjorski. That was on September 11th. This is all fake, all make-believe. This is all a con. This is all set up. Anyway, so Reggie sued Coinbase, I think for a couple $100 million because they violated his patent in many ways. So when you sue a company about patent infringement, it first goes to the patent board. 85% of those suits are thrown out as having no standing at all. So, of course, Coinbase hired the most criminal / best law firm, Perkins Coie. We've all heard that from the Clinton days, to represent them. And listen to what happened.
The inter-parties review of IPR 2023-00751 concluded with a denial of the petitioner's challenge, thereby affirming the validity of the contested claims. This outcome reinforces the strength of the patent portfolio by confirming the enforceability of its key protections. In turn, it bolsters the overall IP strategy and provides continued assurance regarding the portfolio's defensive and strategic position. So this, as some of you may know, is Coinbase's IPR challenge. They hired Perkins Coie to try and invalidate these patents in the PTAB, the Patents, Trials, and Appeals Board of the USPTO, and they were denied. They didn't even go to trial. They said their case lacked merit, so it didn't even go to trial, and they also failed in their appeal. So that's a pretty big deal when you consider, 84% plus patents get invalidated by this process right here. and Perkins Coie being one of the largest law firms, one of the largest patent law firms in the United States. So this is a huge accomplishment right here.
And he just got another patent that will be released on the 18th. At the same time, they transferred Jorge to another division. And then the complaint that the very Dow has put together is a huge complaint, is being heard on the 14th, I believe. And the complaint again is against this guy Jorge, who just got transferred out of his key position. So they're going to win that complaint. And Reggie's going to get his tokens back, and the world will be shocked at the new price of Veritasium. Like, shocked. Why do you think you can't get it anymore? You can get it. There's like strange swap sites where you can get a couple of them. If you look up Veritasium and you look at markets here on CoinMarketCap. By the way, CoinMarketCap is also in violation of Reggie's patent. That's why out of all the companies, all the crypto companies who got dinged by the SEC, Veritasium's the only one with a disclaimer above it right here. Securities Exchange Commission has filed charges against Reggie Milton, Veritasium, and that's the only one. You don't see that at Ripple. Ripple did the same thing. Let's look at XRP, right? XRP. It should have the same warning, right? Right? Do you see it? Nowhere to be found. And it's on no other crypto, even the real frauds, other than Veritasium, right there at the top. I think CoinMarketCap is owned by Digital Currency Group, which is like the deep state, massive investor. This is just, Reggie has been so abused. You're going to see Veritasium do what Cliff Hyatt expected, higher than Bitcoin. Keep an eye out. Remember, Reggie and the SEC have locked up together and not moved, by the way. Strangest ruling ever. It's just sitting there waiting for something. 98 million of the 100 million tokens. So there's only 2 million out there trading. Can you see how all of a sudden Veritasium can go from $30 to $100,000? If your token holds the key to decentralized finance and cryptos, how big is that? Ethereum is in violation. Now, some people say, well, no, those are decentralized. Well, if it's decentralized, you have no worry about it, right? You don't have to worry about anything. If it's decentralized, there'll be no one to sue. But the reality is there's always some centralization. For example, coming in and out of banks. Do Ethereum holders, can they get them that way? Sure. Can exchanges trade cryptos that are in violation of a patent? No. Everybody's going to be coming to Reggie. It's weird. Everything is coming true. And this is, did you guys see what happened to Theta last night? Look at that. Look at that. It jumped from, this is TFuel, from 46 cents to 4.6 cents to 6.3 cents in an instant. This is the second time it's done that in a month. Look at that right there. You don't think there's any rigging going on? You don't think this is a massively undervalued cryptocurrency? Everybody and mother is going to be begging to get TFuel. Why? Because you can stake it with a booster, and all these coins that are coming on in the new Theta ecosystem. And well, by the way, it's a download you can put on every single flat screen TV. I talked to AI about this at length. I said, which coin is going to do better? Theta Fuel, or T-Drop? By far, it was Theta Fuel. Theta will do well, but it's just a governance token. Theta Fuel runs the operation. It will be used in AI transactions. I think T-Drop will as well. But then again, you got Theta that can vote to create more Theta Fuel tokens. There's no plans for it, but it can at some point. If Theta Fuel gets too valuable, then you want to own some Theta. So it's you gotta get it. You gotta get your hands on some Theta Fuel, and if you have enough, 500 gets you an elite edge node, and then you can start getting the booster And the booster is climbing. It's at 78. The utilization score is at 78. When it's up in the 90s, you're going to be making 30%, 25 to 30% by staking. And you don't think everybody on the planet would try to get it? What's that going to do to the price? Holy moly. And then you have Google and Samsung and Amazon and Microsoft, all the partners that Theta has. And I talked to AI about this. And I said, well, what would be the advantage? Would they be advantaged? Google and Microsoft and Amazon to promote the Theta decentralized AI stuff, the edge node basically, where you can get decentralized cloud. And AIs came back, absolutely. They are going to be pumping TFuel and Theta. And right now you can get it for 5.4 cents. Yesterday you could get it for 4.4 cents. Michelle Whitedove did comment on Theta and said it would be well over $10 per token on TFuel, and Theta over 1,000. I think it's gonna be different than that, but I think TFuel, at least for a while, TFuel is gonna absolutely outpace Theta. And right now they're at 20 to 1, I think. 21 to 1. Yesterday they were at 28 to 1. See, last 7 days up 24%, down 12%. That shift is, I think people are starting to say, holy shit, these booster nodes are really starting to kick out some return. Why am I holding Theta over Theta Fuel? We'll find out. And the more edge nodes you build around the world, those elite edge nodes, the more, the faster Theta will be, the Theta network. They're symbiotic. They work. Theta doesn't work without TFuel and vice versa. They work together. So I do recommend having both. But if you're going to say which one should do better over the next couple of years, TFuel, until it gets to a point, probably where the amount that has been created is, which is, I think it's 6 to 1. We can check right now. For TFuel, the 6.8. So that's about 7 to 1. There's 7 TFuel to every 1 Theta. And Theta's fixed. TFuel does have a inflation factor built in as it grows, but it also gets burned as it's used. It's a little more the tokenomics on that. I mean, it comes up way below 10, and we were at 35 just a couple days ago. So yes, get your TFuel. All right, let's go back to silver. Yes, silver on Friday traded 500 million ounces of electronic silver was dumped on the market. Yes, Friday. It is, as you can tell, people are taking delivery of silver in this non-delivery month. If Trump puts on tariffs, everybody and their mother would stand for delivery because you can't get it anywhere else. And, well, by the way, anything shipped in the United States is going to be 25% higher. And do you think Mexico would even ship it to the United States? No. Or Canada into the United States? No. The United States gets 65% of their physical silver is imported from Canada and Mexico. What are you going to do, U.S.? U.S. manufacturers. Trump, you want your manufacturing? What are you going to do? How about let's open the U.S. mines that you've held closed forever? Anyway, all right. What else? We know who's short by who's delivering. J.P. Morgan customers, obviously. Standard Chartered Bank has delivered half of the silver this month. They are one of the rigging banks, but they only come in because they have a Standard Chartered Bank. I think they have some kind of mine relationship with Mitsubishi. They're held by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. So, yeah, but they only come out in times of absolute necessity, and the fact that Standard Chartered Bank is now having to pony up half of what was delivered this month is really telling. HSBC, obviously, don't know what happened to them. They haven't done a thing this month. HSBC might be shit out of luck and going under. Bank of America, the big Bank of America, J.P. Morgan lease, But B of A had to take 824, and probably next month they will put back 824 contracts. The whole thing's a mess, in case you were wondering. So there you have it, and things are about to change. Someone is attacking the COMEX. January sees 5.2 billion in gold deliveries. Look at the... And COMEX is not known for its delivery. That when they created the exchange for physical, where you can go to London and take all you want, there's too many rules in the U.S. But this time, look at this. Massive gold deliveries. Almost double the old highs in the past 5 years. Is there a run on gold? Probably, but the banks don't really care that much about gold. They know there's a shit ton of gold, and they have a lot of it. Just think, though, when the banks fail, what are they going to have to sell? Their liquid assets. What are JP Morgan's most liquid assets? They already leased out their silver. It would be gold, and it would be Bitcoin. Can you survive? How long can you survive with JP Morgan dumping all its assets? I don't know. And then the Trump next round of tariffs, 25% on steel. So this is already has already started. So this kind of lays the way for the end of the month when he puts 25% tariffs on everything. Because no, they didn't come to an agreement between Canada and Mexico. They delayed it for a month, probably because of the silver market. And next month is a delivery month. Trump orders creation of U.S. sovereign wealth fund, says it could buy TikTok. You could buy silver as well, all the silver on the planet, because it's rigged on your markets. Silver, silver, silver. Trump knows exactly what's going on. I loved when Trump came into the Oval Office first time. He changed the drapes to gold drapes. He knows what's going on. So does Elon, by the way. That's the TFuel chart. That's what happened in TFuel. This happened again last month. TFuel is going to just, look at up 30% in a matter of seconds. Who knows? And you don't know if that's someone buying a lot or just letting go of the cap they put on it. And it's probably Binance or Theta Labs themselves. But when you get partners like Google, Samsung, Sony, Amazon, Microsoft, all these universities, everybody going to the AI world, I'm not really worried about anything that happens with Theta Fuel or Theta price in the short term. This is a long-term game. Real interesting discussion on that very issue right here. Mark Andreessen Horowitz.
The other is crypto's going to come. Crypto's going to come right back to life. And actually, that's very exciting. Actually, that's worth noting is that's another $1 trillion question on AI, which is in a world of pervasive AI, and especially in a world of AI agents, and imagine a world of billions or trillions of AI agents running around, they need an economy. And crypto, in our view, happens to be the ideal economic system for that, right? Because it's a very programmable money. It's a very easy way to plug in and do that. And there's this transaction processing system that can do that. And so I think the crypto AI intersection, is potentially a very, very big deal. And so that was going to be impossible under the prior regime. And I think under the new regime, hopefully it'll be something we can do.
So two things there. One, obviously, the Theta and AI and the economy, that's going to be the economy. AI, Theta, and all these big guys. And by the way, Ethereum still is ridiculous to work with. I don't know why any cryptos work on the Ethereum network when they can do it just as easily on Theta, which has the same software operating system, ERC20 tokens. It's like 50 times faster, 100 times faster than Ethereum, and 1,000 times cheaper than Ethereum. I mean, to do a transaction on Theta, it's 0.3 TFuel for a regular transaction. Whereas when I was transferring the Veri tokens onto Ethereum wallets, in the busy times, it was like $2-3 just to do one. Whereas with Theta, you're paying less than a cent. Or about a cent. A penny. And it's instant. Fairly instant. Whereas Ethereum still takes a while. Ethereum, great idea when it started. They chose proof of work instead of proof of stake. They tried to shift. They tried to do this. It still has a massive market cap. I think Ethereum goes away and replaced by Theta. The Theta network. Just makes sense. Ethereum has a market cap of $231 billion. And the big fraud Tether, who knows what's going to happen with that? Especially with, a crash of the banking system, Tethers were zero. Where are they required to hold all their assets? In the bank. This whole world's about to go sideways, and you got to be in the right place. You got to hold physical silver in your own possession. Cryptos, obviously, if you like cryptos, you understand that Veritasium has the patent on most of anything other than a standalone blockchain. Peer-to-peer transactions. Peer-to-peer capital markets is the actual term that's used in the patent. And it's a good patent. Which one, Bix? 7. The new one coming out just as the guy who took him down gets demoted, and the new Trump administration is looking into what happened in the past. I think this will be the first. I think there is a hearing on the 14th by the very Dow people on their complaint against the guy who just got demoted. And if that ruling is thrown out and they give Reggie his tokens back, all hell is going to break loose on every front. Because crypto people are going to say, I don't know what, is my crypto in violation? How much of Theta is in violation of Reggie's patent? Probably a lot of it. There isn't a crypto out there other than Bitcoin standalone. Just the blockchain. There aren't a lot. XRP is an obvious violation. Swaps between countries using crypto is explained in all of the Veritasium patents. Peer-to-peer transactions in capital markets. What to do? I don't know. If you've been on the road to Roota, you got this stuff stashed away in the closet, and you've been downtrodden because the price of silver is still at $30, and the price of Theta went from 4 cents to $15, and then back down to 50 cents, and now it's at $1.30. And you Veritasium went to $450, and now it's back down to $30. But if you hodl, and it doesn't matter if the system falls apart because you have your assets in your own possession, I think that's the best place to be to survive and to thrive in the future. That's my take. This is Bix Weir. Oh, by the way, for every private road subscription, we're giving away a paper wallet with 5 Theta, 50 TFuel, and 500 T-drop loaded and mailed to your front door. So if you don't know what I'm talking about at all with cryptos, you can just get this and stick it with your stacks of silver in your safe. Go to roadtoroota.com, click on subscribe today. Bix Weir, I'll talk to you later.